Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to like and subscribe for better hair next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building everyone's favorite co-pilot, Chewbacca. Riding shotgun in the Millennium Falcon, Chewie is the best friend everyone wishes they had. Loyal, strong, and fluffy. He's an asset to any smuggling crew. Let's start off by figuring out our goals for this build. First, we need Wookiee strength, in case we need to rip some arms off. Next, we'll get to be an expert with his iconic bowcaster. Finally, we'll make sure his roar is as intimidating as it can be. We'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook, but feel free to roll, it's usually more fun. Strength will be our first priority. Like I said, we're trying to remove limbs. Constitution after that. Chewie has thick skin under a thick coat, and it'll help our AC later. Dexterity next for archery and armor class. Follow that up with intelligence. He flies a spaceship, that's pretty smart stuff. Charisma is on the lower end. He's intimidating and endearing, but not eloquent. And we'll dump wisdom. He doesn't really hit it off with Ewoks or Porgs, so animal handling is my indicator of that low wisdom score. For race, we need to be tall and furry. To me, that says Bugbear from Volo's Guide to Monsters. This gives you +2 strength and +1 dexterity, stealth proficiency, 60 feet of dark vision, a large carrying capacity, 10-foot range on your melee attacks with long limbs, and an extra 2d6 damage if you surprise a creature on the first round of combat. Take the soldier background for athletics and intimidation proficiency, as well as a gaming set and land vehicle proficiency. There is an air vehicle proficiency as far as I'm aware. This is the closest we're gonna get. We'll start off as a barbarian, giving us 2 proficiencies from the barbarian list. Go for survival and perception to mitigate your low wisdom. You're proficient with all melee weapons. Pick one of your choice. We don't have unarmed fighting yet. You can go into a rage to resist bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Get some bonus to your strength weapon attacks, and advantage on any strength check or save. It lasts for a minute, but ends early if you don't attack or take damage in a round, but I'm not really worried about that for you. You also get unarmored defense. For Barbarian, that means your AC is 10 plus your dexterity and constitution modifiers, which fits as I don't think an ammo belt counts as armor. We'll jump to Fighter now. Level 1 gives you second wind, healing 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action once per short rest. And for your fighting style, pick up Archery. That gives you +2 to hit with ranged weapons. A heavy crossbow deals 1d10 piercing damage. That's going to be my pick for a bowcaster. Fighter level 2 gives you Action Surge, letting you make 2 actions in a round once per short rest. Keep in mind, crossbows can't fire twice in the same round, that is until we take a feat. Technically speaking, you're proficient with a short bow or a long bow, so you could use that for now. Hell, you're proficient with every weapon in the game, use whatever you want. Third level fighters can choose a martial archetype. Look into Sharpshooter from an Unearthed Arcana. You can look it up online for free. This lets you take steady aim and ignore all but full cover, then add damage equal to half your fighter level rounded down +2. You can use this 3 times per short rest to get some big hits off. Fourth level fighters can get an ability score improvement or a feat. I'll take the Tavern Brawler feat here, giving us +1 strength, proficiency with unarmed strikes, and improvised weapon, the former of which now deals 1d4 plus your strength modifier, and you can grapple as a bonus action after making either type of attack. There's also a new class features Unearthed Arcana that makes unarmed fighting a fighting style, but unfortunately the Sharpshooter subclass doesn't get 2 styles. And really, Chewie is mostly an archer. 5th level fighters get an extra attack, meaning you can attack twice instead of once, but you still have to reload your crossbow, so for now it only applies to your unarmed strikes and literally every other weapon in the game. Again, you're a fighter, don't ignore the main draw of the class. But at 6th level fighter, you can take the crossbow expert feat, letting you ignore the loading requirement and fire within 5 feet without disadvantage with a crossbow. You can also make an attack with a hand crossbow after attacking with a one-handed weapon as a bonus action, but we're using the heavy version, so this doesn't really apply to us, but it can if you want. Again, live your life. 7th level sharpshooters have sharp eyes, letting them take a search action as a bonus action, and it gives them proficiency with survival and perception, which we already have. If I were the DM, I'd allow expertise in one of these skills or investigation instead, but I'm not your DM, so that's really up to them. 8th level fighters can take another feat. Menacing is from the Feats for Skills Unearthed Arcana online. This gives you +1 charisma and expertise in intimidation. You can also attempt to frighten a creature with an attack action, contesting your intimidation with their insight. Frightened targets can't move closer to you willingly and have disadvantage on attack and skill rolls when they can see you, making this a great way to get some space between yourself and an enemy you want to shoot. 9th level fighters get Indomitable, letting them re-roll a failed saving throw once per day. Wookiees have had to endure a lot: droid attacks, Republic conquest, the Christmas special. It's rough. 10th level sharpshooters get the close quarters shooting ability, which means that you don't have disadvantage on an attack within 5 feet, and we already have that with crossbow expert, but now when you hit someone with a ranged attack at 5 feet, they can't take reactions, so you can disengage for free and get further away. Sure, you don't have disadvantage shooting up close, but if you've got the range, you might as well use it, make them waste their movement to chase you down. 11th level fighters get an extra attack, meaning 3 shots per round, so basically you have a repeating bowcaster. That's pretty fun. 12th level fighters get an ability score improvement, round off your strength and charisma scores if they're odd, otherwise dexterity is a good investment, you're mostly a sniper. 13th level fighters get another use of Indomitable. Wookiees have more endurance than almost any other race in the galaxy, they're really tough. 14th level fighters get another ability score improvement. If you're sick of a negative wisdom mod, bump it up. Chewie is one of the characters that doesn't really have a dump stat, but dexterity is probably more important. It applies to your AC, your damage, your accuracy. It's really good. 15th level sharpshooters get rapid strike, so if you have advantage on an attack, you can give that up for another attack as a bonus action. Remember when you couldn't even fire multiple shots in one round? That was rough. 16th level fighters get another ability score improvement, and you really should cap that dexterity. If that's already capped, the next goal is capping your strength in case anyone is dumb enough to charge a Wookiee. 17th level fighters get a third use of Indomitable and a second action surge. You can't keep a Wookiee down, and they have a shocking amount of speed. 18th level sharpshooters get snapshot, so if you take the attack action on your first round of combat, you get an extra ranged attack. This means you will basically kill anything with a surprise round, as you have advantage on the attack, letting you use rapid strike as a bonus action to shoot 5 bolts, each dealing 1d10 plus 5, provided you've capped your dexterity, and an extra 2d6 since you're a bugbear. Our capstone is an ability score improvement from 19th level of fighter. Invest in strength, dexterity, or constitution. Round off anything odd if it's left over. You're a very well-rounded Wookiee. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how good of a build this is. First, you can do very consistent range damage with 3 to 5 attacks per round, each with a d10 damage die and a 5 dexterity modifier. Should anyone get close, you've got rage to make yourself tougher, so you're the rare sniper that doesn't have to worry about getting ambushed. Finally, expertise and intimidation is great for role-playing and can be useful in combat, as frightened foes are much less formidable. As far as weaknesses go, you have nothing magical in your arsenal, so you'll have trouble breaking through some enemies' defenses. There's also a lot of overlap in this build, from skills to abilities in crossbow expert and sharpshooter subclass, that makes some levels feel a bit of a waste. Finally, as fun as the flavor of Tavern Brawler is, a d4 is a sad, small little die that makes shooting up close much more viable than slamming someone with your paws. However, these weaknesses can be mitigated with a good crew. You fill the role of muscle and sniper, which is 2 more roles than C-3PO most of the time. Still, maybe be on the lookout for a farmhand with some magical powers to complete the crew. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, we've got more Star Wars content coming your way until that sweet day when we get to finish the Skywalker saga. Subscribe for more, ring the bell, yada yada YouTube stuff. And hey, check out my side channel where I do Let's Plays with my buddy Corey.